This story takes place deep in the countryside, where time seems to stand still. In a worn-out farmhouse far from neighbors lived a woman named Ramona with her teenage son and little daughter. But this wasn't a peaceful home. It was a house swallowed by grief and hiding something darker. Years ago, this same house was alive, with laughter, love, and dreams. Ramona and her husband David had built it from the ground up, brick by brick, memory by memory. But then, tragedy struck. A car crash took David's life and Ramona's leg. Since that day, she'd never been the same. She sat alone every morning, watching the same video over and over. Their first dinner, their wedding anniversary, the trees they planted together. But now silence, a broken home, and a broken woman. Ramona barely spoke. Her son, who everyone called the tailor, had taken on the household chores. Her daughter was too young to understand why her mother never smiled anymore. Every morning, Ramona would whisper, "Give me strength, not to live, but to simply exist." And then she saw her, a woman dressed completely in black, sitting silently, staring directly at the house. Who was she? Why was she here? Ramona went outside pretending to be brave. She warned, "My husband's about to be home. You should leave." But the woman didn't move. She replied with chilling calm,
Your husband's not coming home.
"Your husband is dead, Ramona. You lost your leg. I'm here because you called me." She lifted her hands, dripping in blood. Ramona ran, locked the doors, tried the car. But the engine was dead. So was the landline. And so was her mind. She became frantic, angry, paranoid. She screamed at the tailor for leaving the gate open, yelled at her daughter for spelling a word wrong, and then she slapped her. Ramona broke down immediately, hugging her child, apologizing over and over. But something had changed. The woman in black was getting closer. She looked in the mirror and saw something horrifying. Herself, holding a knife, stabbing, but it wasn't real. She looked down. Just a pillow torn apart. Was she dreaming? Or losing control? The tailor had seen enough. He found an old gun belonging to his late father and stormed outside. He pointed it at the woman in black, told her to leave, but she didn't flinch. She simply said, "Ask your mother what really happened the night your father died." Ramona finally confessed. She was the one behind the wheel that night, not David. They had fought. She wanted to leave the countryside. He didn't. In anger, she drove away. And in that blind rage, she thought she saw a dark figure in the rearview mirror. That distraction caused the crash. David died. She lived. The guilt had haunted her every day since. But now, the house was responding. Doors slammed. Shadows stretched. Lights flickered. The woman in black wasn't just a stranger. She was something more dangerous. The family ran to the attic, but even there the darkness followed. The woman in black reached through the window, trying to drag the daughter out. The tailor fought her off just in time. But the real battle was inside Ramona's mind. She entered a dream, a place that looked like her old house, but lighter, peaceful. David was there, smiling, calm, but then he changed. His face twisted with anger. He yelled, hit her. Suddenly, Ramona saw herself, sitting in the yard in black. That's when she realized the woman in black was her, not a ghost, not a stranger, but her pain, her regret, her wish to end it all, a monster created by her own heart. Back in the real world, Ramona held the gun, hands shaking, tears streaming. The voice whispered, "End it." But she didn't. She looked at her children and said, "No, not today." The darkness lifted. The lights returned. Even the dog, Charlie, returned, wagging his tail. Peace had come home. A painting hung in the living room, one Ramona had painted long ago, hidden in its brushstrokes. A shadowy figure. She had painted the woman in black before she ever appeared. Because sometimes the scariest ghosts aren't the ones in our houses, but the ones we keep buried in our hearts.